Thank you for tuning into KGSM-TV. I'm Reed Gregory, bringing you your weekly newscast. To start off our show here today, several people have already received government aid in the form of stimulus packages, and many people have high hopes of seeing more here in the near future. With these new checks coming in, it's best to know how your bank operates in processing these payments. Griffin Media reporter Kaylee Black gives us a deeper look at understanding your bank's practices and procedures.
Whether you're an adult or a child, it is important to know about the banking practices at your bank. It's especially important for college students when they're heading off to college.
Banking tips for college students would be, after you're keeping track of what you're spending, actually look at your bank statements or use your online banking.
It is important to understand what online banking has to offer. Let's take a deeper look.
With online banking, you can get e-statements and you can do bill pay. Also have a function called Pop Money that you can send money from yourself to another person for a very small fee. You can log in and transfer money in between accounts. We do also offer a phone app for both iPhone and Android. You can use the face recognition or thumbprint recognition. You can check your balance, transfer, and do all that with the app. Function on the app that's called an instant balance. So you don't have to log all the way into the app. You just click your instant balance and it'll give you the current balance on the accounts that you choose.
If you would like more information about banking practices, please visit or call your bank. I'm Kaylee Black reporting for the Griffin News.
The East Hills Mall can typically be found full of people shopping and roaming around stores, but now new opportunities are allowing for people experiencing the effects of Parkinson's disease to have a new way to get out and about and experience what the mall has to offer in a fun way. Once again, our own Kaylee Black brings us the story on how this is possible.
He is, isn't he? Really good.
The Freudenthal Center for Parkinson's Disease is located in East Hills Mall and provides free programs to prolong the disease. The organization is funded by donations.
Well, the donations are used to supplies for the center, and this is with all the volunteers. Everything is volunteered. No one gets paid for doing the boxing or the band classes or anything. And by donations, it helps keep everything free for the Parkinson's patient. And that's just a blessing to be able to come and do these activities at no cost.
If you would like to help the organization but cannot provide financially, then they have an opportunity for you.
In my opinion, one of the very best donations that this center can receive is the donation of people's time. We need the volunteers. These people are a blessing. This is not work, this is a blessing. You get to come in and you get to spend a whole hour with some really wonderful people. It's easy, anybody can do it. You don't have to have vast knowledge of anything we do here. Some of the stuff is just giving people a drink. Sometimes it's just having a talk with somebody. Companionship is really big here. So the thing that we love to get more than anything is the donation of people's time. Your time, it's an hour of your day. And I guarantee you it'll be the best hour of your day.
If you would like more information about the center, please go to their website. This is Kaylee Black reporting for Griffin Media.
And coming up, our own Brianna Reed will come on and give us a look at what's happening here on campus.
As fun as college is, it can be a really stressful time.
It's easy to feel alone.
Even in full classrooms, sometimes it still feels like you have no one.
It's especially easy to feel isolated during these crazy times.
It's hard to recognize the signs when you don't know them.
Don't be afraid to reach out and get help.
There are always ways to get help on campus.
The counseling center is always ready to work with you.
There's also lots of ways to get help off campus.
There are several different hotlines you can reach out to.
Make sure to check in on your friends and family.
Keep an eye out for the signs.
There's no shame in recognizing that you're struggling.
There's no shame in asking for help.
There is no shame in taking care of yourself.
You and your mental health are the priority.
See the signs. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
I'd really encourage, if you need to talk to someone, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brianna Reed. The month of March was Women's History Month, and in the journalism world, Mary Beth Tinker is one of the most influential women around. The students at Missouri Western were lucky enough to get a chance to speak to her. Our own Brene Tate brings us this story.
On March 16th, Missouri Western hosted an event featuring Mary Beth Tinker. Two poets opened up the event. First, Ann Davies. Ann graduated last December with a general education degree and 2 minors in creative writing and literature. Ann recently realized she wanted to be a writer her entire life.
Passing the test, taking the pledge, I worked the American dream, became educated, believing.
Zoe Reynolds, also known as Zoe Magic, is an upcoming graduate with a social work major and a minor in cinema. Originally using poetry as an outlet until the introduction of slam poetry. From then on, the passion continued to grow.
What the fuck else would it be? They try and run away from the ugly days while still doing ugly things. This shit is baffling. The audacity too, nah, I can smack about 3, damn, there I go again.
The 5 freedoms protected underneath the First Amendment: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to assemble peacefully, freedom of press, and the right to petition. Mary Beth is known mostly for her part in Tinker versus Des Moines Independent School District Supreme Court case.
Not going to all come from the Tinker ruling, that's for sure. The Tinker ruling, because it says, number 1, students cannot substantially, and it is supposed to be substantial, can substantially disrupt school with their free speech. And number 2, cannot impinge on the rights of others, whatever that means. And that's been debated ever since.
Mary Beth continues to educate young people about their rights, speaking to many different groups across the country. I'm Brene Tate, reporting for Griffin Media.
With COVID-19 taking over this past year, the arts have been struggling to stay alive. I'm happy to bring you this tribute to the arts.
Cell phones, go ahead, take them out. I know you've got them. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead, take them off, turn them down. Thank you very much, we appreciate that. And music, go!
Missouri Western has cut several degrees and programs due to financial struggle, with the majority of cuts being arts programs. Though the fine arts students are devastated about this change, they are grateful for the memories.
Consider the sunshine. That's all I want to do.
Alex Brooks, a sophomore theater major, was put to work as soon as she arrived at Missouri Western and had the opportunity to be the master electrician for her favorite production.
My favorite would probably be Pinocchio. It was the smaller show that I was able to be a part of, but the technical aspects were very elaborate in that show, and the design was just absolutely incredible. I'm really happy I was able to be a part of it.
Nachane Duo, also a theater major, has been the costume designer for Pinocchio as well as several other productions over the years. She is thankful for the program and will be graduating in the spring of 2021.
It's been amazing. I mean, for the most part, I kind of like to say how finding this program has kind of helped save me in a way. So, like you get really close with the people you work with and your professors. And I couldn't ask for anything more as far as the education that I get and the relationships that I can build here. So.
Trayshawn Stepney, a spring 2020 graduate of Missouri Western, was a member of the Missouri Western State University Chamber Singers Ensemble for 2 years and has always loved music.
Before college, I was in choir for, 8 years, since like 4th, 5th grade. And once I came to Missouri Western, I was like, okay, I got to sing because I've been doing this. So I got to keep it going. And me being part of the audition choir, the Missouri Western Chamber Singers, that just continued my outlet of performing, specifically when it involves music. That experience, I was there for 2 years, and that was a ball. Like I was part of that ensemble going to the NMEA, which is like a prestigious Missouri music conference. And we performed our hearts out. We sang some amazing songs. We were directed by an amazing person, by Miss Dr. Hepworth. So, yeah.
Jordan Alford, also a recent spring 2020 graduate, received her minor in dance and is the founder of the Missouri Western Dance Company, a co-ed student-run performing arts organization.
One of my favorite performances to actually dance in, I always go back to year one just because like there's so many elements and we put so much into that performance. Year one performed at the dance showcase specifically. That was my absolutely favorite one because all the lights, the cameras, the stage raising, people coming on from so many different elements, so many different sides. So that was my absolute favorite performance.
Dr. Nathaniel May is currently the chair of the Fine Arts Department, and prior to this, he was the music professor. But he sees value in all the arts and hopes that one day things can turn around.
You look at how the arts impact not only a university, but the community, and in times like this that we're facing, we all need ways to cope, and I think the arts have always been leaned on as that kind of a conduit for people. You know, music and art and theater and drama, all of those things have been with human culture and society since before the Romans, all the way back to the Greeks. They're definitely important, and I think if we let them slip out of our society, it's just, you know, we become more of a monochromatic, boring society, you know, where everything is just gray and there's no color.
Unfortunately, Missouri Western has to say goodbye to the arts. They will be missed but never forgotten, and students have created experiences for them to look back on and cherish forever. Reporting for Griffin Media, this is Brianna Reed. Coming up after this break, Harry Loomis will be here to talk about all things sports related at Missouri Western.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Thank you for tuning into sports. I'm Harry Loomis. The women's tennis team is off to a great start on the year, starting at 6-2. Go Griffins has sent us a package from the recent match against Harding.
But I'm super proud, like honestly, I don't know, like everybody performed super well. Like yeah, we lost a doubles point, but we didn't let that get to us.
So that was, honestly, I wasn't like super happy because we kind of started a bit afraid. But you know, they kind of made a change, and I always tell them, focus on yourself and control what you can control. Don't focus on your opponent or anything else. And I think we are starting to see the results in doing that.
Everyone is like putting the effort. It doesn't really matter how the team is doing. Everyone is putting their energy in their match. So that helps everyone do better.
Yeah, collectively.
Collectively, and at the end, like it all adds up. But you need to know that individually, you need to work your way there, and then the rest is gonna come with the team.
And tennis hosts Fort Hays and Nebraska Kearney this weekend. Now, this is opening weekend for MLB, and I know I'm looking forward to getting the season underway. And with me is Reed Gregory, who must be happy after his Kansas City Royals won 14-10 yesterday.
Absolutely, Harry. Nothing better on opening day than a good old-fashioned slugfest, this time against the Texas Rangers, and I could not be more excited to see the game yesterday.
I know I speak from experience as a Cardinals fan. I do enjoy a good slugfest to beat the Texas Rangers.
I bet you do.
So you're coming off a 26-34 season, second year under Mike Matheny. There's a lot of talk that the Royals could be a surprise team in the AL. Do you think that can come to fruition this year?
Most definitely. I think they're going to be a very sneaky team. Now, I don't think they're going to be in playoff contention by any means. They could possibly sneak into a wild card spot. But I know with a lot of the really hidden free agent signings, Carlos Santana was a big one. The trade for Andrew Benintendi, Michael A. Taylor. There's a lot of really hidden gems. I think they picked up a lot. And I think they're going to be really slept on this year from everyone around the league.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I really love to see the Royals make the playoffs. It's going to be good for baseball, going to be good for the state of Missouri. It's just, I think they're really a victim of their own division because the Twins are a perennial 100-win ball team lately. The White Sox might be the most exciting team in all of baseball. But if they can make the steps, maybe get to 80, 85 wins, then they're in really good shape to make a run later on.
Yes, absolutely. Just like you said, I know the White Sox, very, very power heavy. Same with the Twins, I know, and they both have better pitching than the Royals do. I know pitching hasn't been the strong suit for the Royals, almost it seems like since the Zach Greinke era. Right. If that's something I feel like they could acquire at the deadline or something they could maybe pick up this offseason, I feel like in the next coming years they could be a threat.
I feel like it's kind of a wait and see approach to see like just how you're starting off the season. If you got some room, you're within striking distance, why not go for it?
Absolutely.
And as for the Cardinals, they came off a 11-6 win against the Cincinnati Reds yesterday. Wild first inning. We thought Paul Goldschmidt went deep, second at bat this season, hit the top of the wall, it was a double, and then it was kind of an awkward inning, awkward base hit, hit by pitch, and then Dylan Carlson, big rookie prospect for the Cardinals, went deep for a 3-run home run, so that kind of just set the tone for the season.
Absolutely, kind of dropping the hammer. I've got to ask you as a Cardinals fan, how exciting was it to see Arenado make his debut in that Cardinal?
I can't put into words how exciting it was. Brad Thompson, the color commentator, was kind of hinting on it. It just felt natural. There's been so much talk about him coming to the Cardinals lately, and just seeing that 28 Arenado with the birds on the bat in the front, it just looked right. And went 2 for 5, but was hitting the ball well, got robbed on a line out in one play. I really like what I'm going to see, and his hitting is the worst part of his game. He's an unbelievable third baseman. Can't wait to have him here for a couple years.
I can't agree more.
So now let's get into some predictions. So we'll go Cy Youngs, MVPs, and World Series. So who are you going to go with for the Cy Young race?
Cy Young, AL or NL?
We'll go both. Let's start with AL.
It's very hard to not pick Jacob deGrom for the NL. Reigning Cy Young champ before. He always has lights out stuff every year. Coming out with the AL, I would love to see someone like a Giolito pick it up. He threw a no-hitter last year, was really strong in that shortened season. Someone else who might be a little bit slept on in the AL, I know Yu Darvish made a departure and went on to the Padres. I would love to see someone come back, maybe a Verlander, maybe someone a little bit older coming back in and just making his name even more staple, adding more to that Hall of Fame candidacy.
Right, it really solidified his Hall of Fame candidacy with that Cy Young a couple years ago. I'd love to see Verlander come back. He's just an unbelievable competitor, one of the best pitchers I've ever gotten to see in my time. AL, I think he got to go. I think the front runner has to be Garrett Cole. He's got that 9-year contract, $324 million in playing for the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to be super good this year. They're going to win a lot of games, and I think he's just going to kind of carry the weight like he did in Houston, where he really broke out.
Absolutely.
And in the NL, another team that's going to break out and win a lot of games is the Dodgers. They're just coming off a World Series. They're the Dodgers. So they're the best team in baseball on paper by a mile. And I'm actually going to go with Walker Buehler getting the Cy Young. He was fantastic in the playoffs. Young pitcher, a lot of potential. I think he gets it done. What about your MVPs?
MVP, it's really hard in the AL not to put Mike Trout up there every year. Always been in the top 5, I want to say, every single year he's played the game.
Right.
I would love to see Mike Trout get it again. I was kind of surprised he didn't get it last year, even with the shortened season, missing some time. I think, having a child kind of played some effect on that. Would love to see Mike Trout get it in the AL. For the NL, I'd like to see Mookie Betts get it. Just like you said, the Dodgers are going to be swinging heavy this year, coming off that World Series championship last year on a shortened season. Love to see Mookie reclaim it in the NL, and I'd love to see Trout get it in the AL.
Yeah, I think Trout's obviously the front runner in the AL, and he'd be more than deserving to get a 4th MVP in the span of 8 years. But you got to look at guys like Tim Anderson, Matt Chapman, both really good players on really good teams that have potential this year. I don't think it's a runaway. I think Trout is a front runner, obviously, but it's not going to be. He's not just going to walk there. For the NL, I'm going to go with Juan Soto. I think he's going to be the next best hitter in baseball once Mike Trout kind of slows down, if he ever slows down, let's be honest.
If he ever does.
But the NL East is going to be really tight, and I think if the Nationals can pull it out, even get a wild card spot, that's going to look really good for Juan Soto because he's just, ever since he was 19 years old, he's just been 900 OPS type player. So I expect nothing less this year.
On fire.
World Series, who you got?
World Series. It probably won't happen. I would love to see a showdown between the Padres and the White Sox. I think that would be the most youthful and exciting and heavy-hitting World Series the world would see in quite a while and has seen in quite a while. I would love to see Padres, White Sox, and I would love to see the Padres bring one home.
I would love to see that too. I've always been a fan of the Padres. Loved Tony Gwynn. When I was a kid, loved hearing stories about him. I'd love to see San Diego finally get that World Series. I'm going to go with Braves and Yankees. Braves probably should have made it last year. They blew that 3-1 lead in the playoffs. I'm going to go Braves in 6. That's my World Series prediction.
Sounds good.
So we'll look forward to that happening this season. Hopefully we look pretty good and get some of these right.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wrap it up there. So that's it for sports. We'll wrap up the show after this.
A leading problem I've faced is a misunderstanding on the part of students of the importance of academic advising. They miss appointments. They don't make appointments. But what's most disappointing is when they come unprepared. Give me a student with a plan in their head, or better yet, on paper. We could talk about their interests, not just about their classes. We could discuss internships, classwork, grad programs. It would open the door to what advising is truly about.
Can I help you?
But instead, they come to me in a panic when they need to register because...
I need to talk to you. I was trying to register for my classes, but it wouldn't let me do it because I need my PIN, and I haven't had time to set up an advising, so I don't even know what classes I need to take, so I just signed up for a bunch of random ones, and I'm going to drop them later. So can I have my PIN real fast because I'm still logged into a computer in the lab? Am I interrupting?
Take ownership of your education. Make the most of your advisement by being proactive, punctual, and prepared. You'll open the door to more personalized attention and avoid costly setbacks. It's never too soon to begin planning your next steps at Missouri Western.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's broadcast.
Make sure to check out the Griffin News for all your campus updates.
We hope to see you here next week on KGSM-TV, and we hope you all have a happy Easter.